Hello and welcome to this very special edition of the Irish Wrestling Podcast in association with BodySlam.net. My name is Mark O'Brien at WrestleMobs. I'm joined today again by a dear friend of mine, an absolute legend of a man. He unfortunately had to suffer my company through 4 a.m. in the morning when I was drunk on Saturday night. I'm joined by the one, the only, the dude, so catch Hal. How are you, my friend?
Thank you very much. I'm good. I'm good. What about you?
I'm excellent. I'm finally recovered from our weekend, but it was good.
Yeah.
We two of us got to spend some time Saturday evening after the AEW Forbidden Door weekend. It was an amazing weekend. It was brilliant to see so many independent wrestlers
Yes.
mixing and independent wrestling promotions and promoters such as yourself mixing with such mainstream television audiences, mixing with talent on stage in kind of social
Yes.
settings as well, and just showing how interconnected the world of wrestling really is. It felt like a real sense of community on the night even though some of us weren't given guest list access, but that's a fight for another day. But yeah, did you enjoy your weekend, my friend?
Yes, the weekend was awesome. I was very happy to be back to London. London is a city that I like. It was sunny on top of that, so I had two wonderful days. It was short, but it was wonderful. And on top of that, we got some excellent wrestling. Got the chance to spend a little bit more time with people that I know, including you, Mark. And yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. Back to France. It's the final week. It's final days before French Touch. So full speed.
Good man. I mean, you're one of the few people I know who openly says they like London. I thoroughly dislike it. Paris and France are far better places. So I hope you review that opinion going forward. But like, obviously we're chatting because we've been having a number of conversations with some amazing talent featuring on the French Touch show over the last number of weeks, facilitated by yourself because you're an incredibly giving and friendly man. And just a final stop before we get to this monumental weekend this weekend. It's in the past, I met you first of all at the WWE Leon Backlash event last year. That was
Yes.
almost like a test the waters moment for France in terms of wrestling from WWE. See like, what the appetite is for a full weekend. WWE obviously saw how rabid the French audience is. They saw how engaged they are, how much atmosphere and electricity they bring to a presentation. And off the back of that, then they've come to Paris, but they're now holding their whole Clash in Paris weekend. They're not just doing it in an arena show; they're doing it in the home of Racing 92. It's a famous concert venue. It's a full stadium, indoor
Yes.
venue. It's one of the best event venues in Europe, in my opinion. I think it's going to create an absolute amazing atmosphere. It'll be incredibly unique. But off the back of that, then, it's provided an incredible opportunity for you guys with BZW to partner up with APC to promote a show that's going to be incredibly unique. And in my opinion, as I've said at length, is going to be the highlight of the entire weekend for those people who enjoy wrestling, who enjoy independent wrestling, who appreciate fan engagement and not feeling disconnected from the presentation in front of you. This show's called French Touch. You've just passed the 1,000 tickets sold mark. How excited are you for what's been achieved so far and for the weekend ahead?
I'm super excited. The 1,000 tickets sold mark is very cool. I wasn't sure if we would be doing it because to be quite honest with you, the sales time lapse was is a little bit different than the show that we did in July. In
Mm,
July, we had a super big show in Lille, Les Jeux sont faits, which was over 1,200 people, and the sales were let's say more at the beginning. So this show was maybe so French Touch. The sales
mm,
were a little bit more shy, let's say, but I could definitely confirm that over the last few days we have massive buying of tickets. I
mm,
think it's because I'm pretty sure that people combine that with WWE, so
mm,
they were waiting for WWE maybe to decrease the prices,
mm.
and since it's done, I think they're buying both WWE and French Touch, and I'm glad. I'm glad we have a couple of days still to try to beat the record that we established in July. Let's aim for it.
I've no doubt you're gonna push it very, very hard at least. I think as you touched on there, the closer you get to these kind of milestone, kind of major European events such as Clash in Paris, the more people will be purchasing their hotels, their flights, their accommodations, waiting for tickets
Yes.
to lower and whatnot for the event itself. So again, I'm sure you'll have a massive walk up on top of that more than anything. And then you have a card put together that would rival any card across independent wrestling. And the best part about it is it's not reliant on huge names. You may have a couple of huge names.
Yes,
You
we do.
have you have Bobby Lashley, you have the likes of Megan Bayne, you have Joey Janela. But if you actually look through the cards, what I'm most excited for are the situations that European talent are finding themselves in, or the matches that have been listed without those talents as well. Um, just as a flavor, you've my kind of very much caught my eye was Bobby Lashley is in a triple threat. He's with Aigle
Yes.
Blanc and he's with Mecca. two of the
Yes.
hottest talent, not only in French wrestling, but European wrestling. Michael
Yes.
Blanc is subject to a huge amount of speculation, but he might go somewhere. Mecca has made a name for himself in a very short space of time
Yes.
across a number of different countries. How excited are you for that spot that those guys are in with it? Such a huge name, such as Bobby Lashley.
So I would say they're into different position. For
Mm,
Aigle Blanc, it's more like a reward. We've
mm,
all heard the news, the rumors.
yeah.
So it's like we want to thank him for everything that is he has given to pro
Mm,
wrestling, to the French scene, working this whole time for years, building the French scene, helping making a name for the French talent all over Europe. So
mm,
this is more like a reward for him.
mm,
For Mecca, this is a totally different position. He is a young guy. He has proved his value a couple of months ago against Dijak, against
mm,
a very valuable opponent. But
mm,
he's still that young guy.
mm,
So he has to prove, and I think he wants to prove himself. He wants to prove people that he deserved this spot. That
mm,
this isn't just luck bringing him here, because it was supposed to be a buck at the first place.
mm,
Then a buck chose Mecca,
yeah.
because unfortunately a buck is
Mm.
injured. So yes, I'm very excited for both of them. I think the match will be wonderful.
It'd be incredible. And you've got other matches then on the card. One match I'm personally looking forward to most, just because of the dynamic and because I've trained and wrestled with in similar situations with Celine previously. She's in a match with Megan Bayne, and just visually, that kind of contrast between the giant and I suppose, yeah, kind of the opposite of that
Exactly.
as such. That'll be an incredible moment, and I think it's something that will really capture the imagination of fans who might be coming in and not so familiar with the work of Celine. They'll see the opportunity she gets to shine in this moment to really kind of show that underdog fighting spirit as well. So what's it like for Celine? So again, she's only been wrestling for a couple of years as well.
Yes, correct. Yeah, she's pretty much. I think she's a little bit more experienced at Mecca, but it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much the same path.
Mm-hmm.
She started wrestling a couple of years ago. She has made a name for herself in France, and she's now exporting herself more and more. She's well known in OTT
Mm-hmm.
from Irish fans.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to Germany now.
Mm-hmm.
She's good. She's going a little bit everywhere actually. So yes, I think it's definitely the biggest challenge of her life. But
Mm-hmm.
again, she has enough experience to be able to overcome that challenge. So the only thing left I have to say is we will see. We will all see the answer in the ring on Saturday.
I've no doubt she'll be able to make a massive statement. Again, for those of us who've seen her appearing across OTT shows across Europe and various different promotions, particularly in France, know what she's capable of and know that kind of fighting spirit and fire she'll be able to bring in a match as well. So I'm personally incredibly excited to kind of watch it from afar. When going up and down, like looking through this match card, for me personally, is really cool to see the many people that who've come to say Ireland for various different training camps, or those who I've seen across Fight Factory, OTT, likes of Tiago Montero, a guy who's really been a trailblazer and traveled all around Europe off his own bat,
Yes,
and he's in a massive position with Joey Janela. Even to consider where he was as a talent and the growth he's had in the space of 1 to 2 years, the confidence he's grown with,
yes,
how cool a spot is that for a guy like Tiago from Portugal who's traveling here, there, and everywhere to go out of his way to get this massive spot with a card like this? Not like it's one thing being in a triple threat, but getting a one-on-one massive spot
yes.
with a guy like Joey Janela.
Yes, this is big for him. I feel like I will repeat myself, but this is
Mm,
also maybe the biggest challenge of his career, because
mm,
Joey Janela is a former BZW
mm,
world champion, so he has a big challenge ahead of him, I would
mm.
say.
Yeah.
And yes, that's pretty cool. Once again, I think this is the um, in French we would say consecration.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
English
yeah.
word for it.
I understand what you're getting at. Yeah.
This is the result of hard work of
Yeah.
years of paving the way for
Mm,
our wrestlers, for building the French scene. So yes, I'm very excited for him. He always um, call himself the smartest man, with la tactique.
mm.
Always have a plan, always having a plan. So let's see if he has one, and if his plan against former BZW world champion Joey Janela will be successful.
Listen, I know it's a single fall match sampler, but at the same
Yes.
time, with a guy like Joey Janela, you never know what sinister turn, something that could turn if it can, kind of things can go off the rails, be a bit more hardcore based. So again, there'd be a very different dynamic for Thiago. It'd be something
Yes.
completely new and alien to him, potentially whatever way this match goes. But again, as somebody I've been fortunate enough to train with in a couple of different outlets, is kind of personally fulfilling to see guys what they were like a couple of years ago and how maybe not as confident they were in their own abilities or what the growth they've had to have these massive spots. And again, looking up and down this card, there's so many people like that. You've obviously got the APC title on the line. I had a brilliant opportunity, thanks to you, to speak to Connor Mills a couple of weeks ago. He's a guy who's had an amazing weekend just gone with Rev Pro. He's traveling all around the world now,
Yes.
doing some amazing things. Again, a guy who's really blossomed as a performer, his own confidence, his own abilities, his own
Yes.
presentation get against somebody who's always had confidence, against somebody who's, despite being very young in the wrestling scene compared to other people, he's always been confident in his own abilities. He's always had a he's always had a unique presentation. He's always had people gravitate towards him, including me at 4 in the morning when drunk on Saturday night. It was the hype man Kuro. So
Yes.
how cool is that match going to be for the APC title?
I think this match is the match that maybe that is the most weighted
Yeah,
because this is actually the third time this
yeah,
guys will face each other in the ring. The
yeah.
first encounter was last year at the BZW Rigs show.
Mm,
Kuro was still very young, and despite a very, very good fight, Connor was able to take the win on this one. And we had another match between these two back to May
mm,
for our BZW show Fight Forever.
mm,
And this time the outcome was a little bit different. It seems that the hate that these guys have for each other went over the match
mm,
or and they keep fighting outside of the ring, which resulted in a
yeah.
double count out. They had a fight. They had a very big brawl after match. And yeah, these guys, I think they have more to show. They want to finish the match. They definitely want to know who's the better man
Mm,
on this one. And I think this third chapter is gonna be for the APC title match because Connor knows he has the
mm.
advantage. So he wants something. He wants to face Koro, but not for nothing. So the title is on the line. Let's see who's gonna be the champ at the end of the night.
Yeah, and I think it's really rewarding for fans who follow BZW on a regular basis, the ones who travel all around France to get to see it's not just a show about megastars and a sprinkling of talents here, there, and everywhere.
Of course.
This is a match for APC BZW whereby this is a rivalry that's well established. This is a
Yes.
rivalry where guys, it's it's an opportunity for them to spotlight themselves
Of
as an
course.
independent wrestling match, as opposed to maybe catering to a larger personality in certain ways. This is a really, really cool position for two incredible talents, particularly across the European independent scene. And two thoroughly good guys. I know, like from speaking with Connor Mills in our conversation, he talked about how much wrestling, particularly for BZW, means to him, and how much that audience means to him, and how it's the one place he's felt, despite being in Rev Pro and all these different places, it's a place that really feels like home, and he's really been welcomed with open arms. Like, to touch on that a bit, just in terms of that dynamic of having homegrown talents have being featuring on a card like this, where it's a BZW APC title match, whereby it's focused on ongoing narratives and an ongoing rivalry in such a massive platform.
Yes, and also what is good with this match is that um, so the time
Mm,
frame for this rematch is more than a year ago. So both competitor evolved.
mm,
I think Kuro become APC champ. It's not the same man it was used to be maybe 1.5 years ago.
mm,
And same with Connor. Connor won the Miracle tournament last
mm,
year. Is more over than ever all over Europe.
mm,
So everybody knows him. He has made a name for himself on the international scene.
mm.
So I can confidently say that this match will be the best of the three that they had.
Okay. No, I mean, again, it's one I'm personally above all looking forward to the most. Despite there being several of my compatriots featuring across this show, this is what really has my attention, given the personalities involved and people who've really given themselves to independent wrestling and independent wrestling fans, particularly in Europe, and made their own name for themselves. And you get to see them appearing in WWE and
Yes.
AEW as security and whatnot, but it's building up that profile internally and externally all around the world. So I couldn't be happier for them. But just like I touched on there, you have a massive tag team title match that's featuring not one set of
Yes.
titles, but two for two different promotions. I don't know how that kind of collaboration and agreement comes into place, whereby you've got two promotions who agree to put both their titles on the line, how
Yes.
that kind of those conversations go between bookers and whatnot. But you've got you got obviously got the idolatry from APC. You've got rivality. Don't know if that's a word, but it is now for
It
BZW's
is.
tag
It
team.
is.
Okay,
It
okay,
is.
it's a word. Okay, and then you've got Suplex Republic. So you've got those three incredible established teams. But then for me as an Irish person, a guy who's trained and wrestled over here, and I had an incredible 1 hour conversation with LJ Cleary a couple of weeks ago. He's
Yes.
teaming with the hottest young prospect in Irish wrestling. He's a guy who's obviously been handpicked by yourselves and LJ, Cian
Yes.
Noonan. Cian
Yeah.
Noonan has burst onto the scene in Ireland post-COVID, very, very new in the scene. But he's electric. He's a guy who's, as I said to you off there, obsessed with wrestling. He's a guy who's really given himself heart and soul into the sport while doing college exams, life outside of it. He's one of the most polite young men you'll ever meet as well. So I couldn't be happier for to be in this spot. I fully expect LJ and Cian Noonan to come away with both sets of belts, and you to be forced to have to pay for their flights all around France and accommodation going forward. What can
That's
fans
okay.
expect?
That's okay. The flight to Ireland are not the most expensive that we pay,
That's
so
fine. That's fine.
I'm
They
I'm
can
I'm okay with that.
make them swim if needs be. But I mean, they've got four different teams there, four very different backgrounds. For fans who aren't as familiar with the idolatry, rivality, Suplex Republic, LJ Clear and Cian Noonan, four very different backgrounds. What can fans expect in such a dynamic four-way tag team title match like this?
I don't know. I don't. Myself, I don't know what we can expect because you said it yourself. The four tag teams are very different. Rivality is usually the maybe the most crazy one, the one that you don't know what to expect from, and obviously the more wrestlers you put in a match, the more crazy it could go. So this
Yes.
is eight of the hottest, maybe like four, at least four of the hottest tag team in Europe right now. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Expect the unexpected. This is my answer.
Okay, very good. Well, listen, I'm thoroughly excited, not just for people I know and kind of this being a massive opportunity for them, particularly for a guy who's been brought over from Ireland, one of his first trips wrestling around Europe to get into work for, in my opinion, as I said numerous times, the hottest promotion in European wrestling. And anybody I speak to within the wrestling bubble, BZW has a name as being that hottest promotion in the minute, the hottest ticket, the place where people want to be. So getting to see Cian Noonan working with his person who's trained him, his mentor, LJ Cleary, is very, very cool from an Irish context. Before I get on to kind of the main event, I want to touch on something we're going to touch on off there, but what you're doing for fans experience, people who've never been to a BZW show, people who might be traveling over to Paris this coming weekend. This fan pass piece you guys do, and you're running collaboration with APC. It's not just a meet and greet photo experience, an
No.
extra kind of carrot on top for fans. It's actually like a proper pre-show that you're running. So you kind
Yes.
of do on a continuous
Correct.
basis. But because it's such a landmark event you're doing with in the WWE's weekend, it's not you're already partnering with one promotion, the two biggest promotions in France, to run this whole event. You've
Yes.
further brought in more external parties to this. From
Correct.
Ireland, you've obviously invited OTT. Within France, you've got APC's training school, APC Evolution. You've got
Yes.
Rix, who are
Yes.
obviously one of the top promotions in France. Very,
Yes.
very popular, get a huge profile as well. And WPE.
Yeah.
So you've got essentially six promotions running one show.
Yeah.
How just before we get into the matches, before we get into the possible permutations of what's in the line, what's being defended, and whatnot, how is that? Just how is that to manage and juggle six different outlooks, six different sets of demands? I want my guy here, I want my guy there. How has that been?
Completely headache.
Okay. Okay.
No, it's no. To be really honest with you, it hasn't been that difficult because I'm lucky enough to have very good relationship with all of these promotions, and in generally, even outside of this promotion, I think I have very good relationship with every promotions
Mhm.
that I'm in contact with. So when we first came up with the idea, we had let's say a list of promotion that we wanted to work with, and we touched base with basically this for promotion.
Mhm.
Everybody said yes, like instantly. So I think this is also like a proof that
Mm,
of the trust that we have for each other, and that everybody knows that even if sometimes wrestling booking are complicated, that we always put the light on people we work with.
mm,
So I think this is this trust relationship that made this like overall in the global picture was like kind of easy to agree with everybody. I mean,
mm,
um, so I'm really happy of that. We wanted the spotlight not to be just on APC and BZW. This is a
mm,
very big weekend, very historical weekend. So
mm,
um, that may sound a little bit like what do you say in English, corny,
mm,
but yeah, we wanted to share the spotlight uh, with people that we like,
mm,
people that has been supporting us, and we wanted to because I know
mm,
this is gonna also be a very important day for fans because I know a very big portion of fans that will be with us on Saturday will be discovering indie wrestling for the
mm.
first time.
Yep.
So I wanted to show them, and we wanted to show them
Mm,
the diversity of
mm,
French pro wrestling, Europe pro wrestling, indie pro wrestling.
mm.
So that's
That's
why that has been very important for us.
that's incredibly selfless of you guys, and the fact that you've kind of both yourself and APC doing so, that's incredibly thoughtful. I think you find most promotions, the majority of promotions, when there's a massive event like this on, typically try to capitalize on it personally and monetarily, which is fair enough because it's a money-making game and wrestling's an expensive thing. You've got to kind of capitalize when you can, but to be able to do that and obviously there will be a huge return off this weekend, but still to be able to share the spotlight with talents and also give a new platform for new talents who are not just trying to get in the shop window for WWE and independent wrestling fans. A lot of these guys on the pre-show or the fan pass show will very much be probably looking as it's an audition to work with you. So because the guy
Yes.
you have a match, I know there's a number of different title matches. You got the APC Evolution Championship match, you got the Reeks Women's Championship match, but for me, you've got the OTT NLW Championship match. OTT NLW Championship is a very long lineage title. It's from kind of one promotion amalgamated into an OTT. It's a bit of a convoluted story, but that's for another day. But the guy you've got involved in is a guy called Jay. Now, he looks like a Targaryen or a bit like he looks like Malfoy from Harry Potter. He's got the most white hair you'll ever, but he's also one of the most incredible talents and nicest guys to boot.
Yes.
If there was one guy in Ireland, the whole country of Ireland, that I would put money on being a BZW type talent that would fit like a glove, that would fans would gravitate towards. Above all, it's Jay.
Okay,
I think this is going to be
that is good to know.
a huge opportunity for Jay. I think if things go well, he'd be the type of guy who could be appearing with you on a regular basis. I'm not as familiar with Ricky Souza, but if Ricky Souza, all I know is you've got a huge fight in your hand. You're against
Yes.
somebody who's incredibly dynamic, incredibly careless with his body. He's somebody who has overcome numerous injuries that come back time and time again. He's incredibly physical, durable, and always rises from whatever challenge may be. So I'm
Yes.
incredibly excited for Jay. But I know I'm very conscious of your time as well now, but I'm just wanted to get my piece there, my pitch for my
No
friend Jay, for
worries.
you,
No
Hal, to
worries.
book him on an ongoing basis. But before we finish up, you have a really cool main event. You got Joseph Anek versus Karen Noir for the BZW World Championship.
Yes.
How excited are you for that? Like Cara Noir, obviously over the last couple of years has taken time away from wrestling, heal his body and whatnot, made his grand return to Progress Wrestling last year, and since then he's kind of intermittently lit the world on fire when he's appeared at various different promotions around Europe, not on as consistent basis as he would have done previously, but for this platform, I have no doubt Cara Noir will be looking to
Yes.
do everything possible, reckless abandon, health be damned. How
Yes.
excited are you for this match?
I'm super excited. I'm wondering if Caranois will be able to finally put a stop to Joseph Fenech championship reign
Hmm.
because he has been champion way too long, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So Caranoir made a very huge impression by returning to BZW on the previous show, Les Jeux sont faits. Was
Yeah.
a surprise return. It was in the match with Bishop Dyer, Kuro, and
Mm.
Robbie X. Very
Wow.
awesome match. And despite the fact that he didn't get the win. I think he made a strong impression to
Mm.
BZW fans. And I have to say that he had like a lot of support from the fans, the BZW fans. So we had to have him back again with us.
Mm,
We had to do it. This was mandatory, and okay, why would we need to wait? We don't
mm,
have to. So let's have him back right now, and he's hot. He's on the top of his game.
mm.
So let's see if he will be able to do the job and have the title that Joseph is keeping from for him for way too long.
I think it's the type of match, if it's closing the show, is going to blow the mind of everybody in attendance, particularly those who are
Yeah.
unfamiliar with Cara Noir and Joseph Finek. If I'm somebody who's solely watching wrestling from a WWE background, not used to independent wrestling, and I see a Cara Noir make his grand entrance, I'll
Yes,
probably be like, "What in God's name? What the fuck is this? Sweet Jesus!" Okay, and then you see him in the ring and how he performs and how violent and
of
how
course.
reckless he is. I think it'll blow the mind of so many people. And I think you touched on previously that's going to be the same for so many people up and down this card. So for those people that you've over 1,000 tickets sold, you're going to be pushing very, very close, or you most likely will surpass your previous ticket record as you've
We
already
hope
achieved this
so.
summer.
We hope so.
For those people on the fence who are currently booking their hotels around Paris, booking their accommodation in Paris, who are probably thinking, okay, I might go to SmackDown on Leon, I might go to Raw in Paris on Monday. I'm not really, I might go, I might not go to them, but I'm going to Clash in Paris. What would you say to fans who are on the fence about those additional WWE shows and are looking for something a bit different, and why would French Touch be the perfect answer to that?
I think you have to be open to different kind of wrestling. WWE is I love them, don't get me wrong, but this is just one type of
Mm,
wrestling. There's so much more to discover, and I think we built this card, we've built this show, we've built this day
mm,
to showcase as much of different wrestling as possible.
mm,
You'll have almost everything on this Fan Pass and
mm,
French Touch show. We're trying to propose fan the most complete experience,
mm,
the best show, the best production, and a very spectacular
mm,
events that they will remember. We want this day to be memorable. We want this day to be historic. We're gonna write. I don't like because this day people they say we will write history together.
mm.
Very like they use that very often. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But this time I'm saying it. We will write history together because this is truly historical. We will
Mm,
have this very big venue. We will have talent from all over the world,
mm.
and this is a night everybody will truly, truly remember. I know that. I know that already.
I think in terms of what you've done today, as you said, there is a full day. In terms, it's one of the most fan servicing events I've seen in independent wrestling. I know in the past, Rev Pro, for example, have done kind of meet and greets for a bit before shows, and again, they're very, very successful. But what you're doing in terms of offering fans this expression and an exposure to not just BZW APC, but a numerous different array of promotions of independent wrestling, really as a fan servicing event, it's one of, as I said earlier, it's one of the most thoughtless and giving things I've seen. And it's also something that's going to hopefully raise up the whole scene. And again, it's not just French wrestling. You
We
got
hope
Irish,
so.
yes, and it's Irish wrestling as well because God bless Ireland. Um, but I think it's as you say, it's going to be a monumental, historic occasion for numerous different reasons. You have over 1,000 tickets sold in the Salle des Fêtes de Gennevilliers on the the 30th out. No, the 30th of August. I won't stop my French there. For BZW and APC Catch. I'm personally thoroughly excited from. I'll be watching afar. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to Paris, but I know numerous people who are traveling over from this part of the world. Thousands of people will be traveling over to Paris from the UK and all around Europe. And I've no doubt by the time the show day comes around, first of all, the amount of tickets you'll have sold will probably double what they are now. But you'll also have a queue of people looking to get in on the day they won't be able to manage. So hopefully that doesn't go to hell. But I'm thoroughly excited and I couldn't be happier for you, your attitude towards independent wrestling, your attitude towards wrestling in general, and how you interact and engage with talents on a personal level. The amount of people that are wanting to work with you and your promotion is a real reflection of the work that you've put in, and you as a person. So Hal, I couldn't be happier for you, and I wish you all the very, very best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. So many nice words. Thank you very much.
Again,
I appreciate that.
no problem. You're a gentleman, and apologies again for being drunk.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You behaved well. You behaved very well, actually.
Good man. Okay, cheers. Thank you, my friend.
Talk to you. Bye bye.
Bye.